Hey guys, first, you guys know the pause symbol. Pause when you see the pause symbol. If not, go into the rest of the presentation. There's two pause symbols in there. Sorry if I sound kind of weird. I have a sore throat, so this is one of those I would probably re-record next year. But first, the objective. The student will be able to combine like terms. This will be done through a presentation and classroom activity. We're going to start with a little bit of review, and then it'll say pause, so if you need to go back. And then we're going to actually get into the lecture, which isn't too hard. I use some fun little sayings in there, but it's not too bad of a lecture today. This is only, I think, like a 5-minute and 12-second video. It won't take too much of your time, and it's a skill I have to teach you before we can go on to solving for variables. So first, this is a little bit of a review. So if you need to go back and watch this part of the presentation again because it isn't making sense, please go back. Because first we're going to be talking about adding variables. So you guys should remember, name that fruit. It's a dragon fruit. Things like $12, $16 a pound. It's just as much as expensive as lobster. So, but there's a dragon fruit, and anytime you see dragon fruit, I want you to think of D. So anytime you have dragon fruit, you associate the word D with it. So how this comes into play is D can be anything. D can be a dog, diaper, donuts, duck, donkey, dump truck, dollars. D could be anything. It's a letter representation of a number. We don't know what it is right now. So if we have 4 D's plus 3 D's, my plus sign will be coming up in a second, you'll have 7 D's. This should all be review. If you need to go back, watch the adding subtracting variables, go do it because this is going to go quick. Like right now, 4 D's. The duck from before comes back and eats 3 of the D's. Now we have 1 D, or later you're going to see it's called D. So this is a chance to also pause and go watch the old lecture if this doesn't make any sense, but if this does make sense, go on to the rest of the presentation. So the rest of the presentation in 1 sec is going to be, what am I? So first, a little question. What is this? People probably don't know. The far right one might help you, and if any of your parents would know, these are gophers. Okay, so we have 3G. Then we have 2 more gophers on the bottom. So we have 2G. So 3G plus 2G will equal 5G. So we have 5 gophers. Again, that's a number, but we use gophers to tie something to. Next, this is where you're going to hear one of the things I might give you a hint on the test. Those are hawks. What happens when you have 3 gophers and 3 hawks? No, they do not make dead hawks. Dead gophers. No, they did not make Ganofa hawks. No such thing as Ganofa hawks. So what do? Again, no dead gophers. No Ganofa hawks. So what happens? In a minute, you're going to find out that this is kind of the simplest form. We're going to be combining like terms. When you get to this point where you have letters like that, you're done. So like this one, we have 2x, 2y, 3x, and 5y. So we want to combine these. We don't want to make Ganofa hawks at the end. We just want to combine the gophers, and we want to combine the hawks. So we're going to put a triangle or a square or a circle around one of the variables. So I chose x first. So we put a triangle around the 4x and a triangle around the 3x. We combine them together, and we get 7x. So next, because we can't make Ganofa hawks, we have to take something else, the y. So we're going to put a circle around the y. So we put a circle around the 2y, a circle plus the 5y, and we get 7y. We're done. No Ganofa hawks. So if you ever hear, Mr. Beuthin, what do you do this? And I say Ganofa hawks, that's kind of your clue. You can't make Ganofa hawks. You're done. So right now, again, we're going to do it. So we're going to take a triangle again, and we're going to put a triangle around 2 of the variables. We have 2D and 3D. So we combined it to make 5D. Not too hard. Next part's where it gets a little bit confusing because that negative sign is in front of the 5J. So negative 5J plus 6J equals J or 1J. Some teachers are going to say J is acceptable, and some teachers are like me, 1J or J are acceptable. Either one's fine by me. But if you need to pause and go watch that part of the presentation, pause because the next part is your check for understanding activity. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 8 problems over here, you guys. So take a few minutes, do the 8 problems. Remember, no Ganofa hawks. So for the first one, you should have an X and a Y when you're done with your answer. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute, pause the video, and then when you're done, unpause it, and I'll give you a little bit more advice. So hopefully you guys didn't have any good Ganofa hawks in there, but the one that you probably got maybe wrong if you did was the second one on the right side. That was the kind of tricky one I threw in there where you're going to have 2 negative answers because remember we go back to our negative integers. A negative plus a negative, it's like I have borrow money and then I borrow some more money, so I still owe lots more money. So to recap, I'm going to say it again because this is what the things mean, or if I have a pair in the room, they'll give you a hint on the test. They might just say Gnofox. Just like the last video, the distribution, hand grenade, little hints I can give you. So remember, when you get down to that thing where you only have one variable and another variable, you're done. You can have 3 variables you want. It doesn't matter. We just have to combine the same like terms. So we combined all the hawks, we combined all the gophers, and we have a nice day. So that's that. But I told you guys it was 5 minutes and 12 seconds. I guess I was wrong. It's probably like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes and 12 seconds. But either way, this wasn't too hard. So the students will be able to combine like terms. This will be done through a presentation on classroom activity. That's all you guys had to do. So hopefully you took a little bit out of this video. Have a nice day, guys.